Ignashov won the Paris Grand Prix by defeating Cyril Abidi and won an automatic bid to the fights tonight here in Osaka. He had 3 wins in 2001. He is leading the Brat Pack, this 25-year-old making waves throughout the K1 world. His opponent, the stern-looking South African Mike Bernardo, an accomplished boxer. He's been using those fists more than his legs in K1 action. He's had some upsides and some downsides in the last year, trying to make his way back to Tokyo.
Tail of the tape, 34 years old for Bernardo versus 25 for Ignashov. Big difference. Height almost the same. Weight 238, 243, just a slight difference. And 42 knockouts for Mike Bernardo. Very impressive out of 53 wins. He has been in this game for quite a while. Ignashov, 63 total wins for his 25 years. That means a lot of fights every year.
He got close in 96, runner-up, but he has never won it.
Bernardo appearing earlier this year, and back in July in Yokohama, he defeated the boxer, Butterbean, knocked him out in the 2nd round. Become a favorite here in Japan. Expect to hear a lot of crowd reaction to Mike Bernardo tonight.
Like many martial artists before him, Mike Bernardo may be beginning to see the end of his fight career, is transitioning into the silver screen. Last year had a starring role in the movie The Mercy of the Sea with Martin Sheen. And Mike Bernardo says that's not the last that we will see him at the movies. Alexey, the Red Scorpion Ignashov, making huge waves. They say he has long knees because he strikes out with those knees as an opponent from just about anywhere around the ring. He seems to have this knack to be able to reach an opponent's head with those knees wherever he stands, Mike.
He's a good kicker. He's got strong punches. 34 knockouts in his 63 wins, but he has no wins over any of the big guns. He and Bernardo have never fought before, and Ignashov's 3 prior fights against the big shots in K1 fighting, Filio, Tanishian, and Leko, were all decision losses. So this is a night that he needs to prove himself worthy to be in here with this group.
His choice of music, like gypsy music, as these K1 fighters are gypsies of the fight game, bouncing around the world from event to event.
K1 ワールドグランプリ2003パリ大会優勝レッツゴーアレクセイ・イグナショフ。
We first saw Ignashov a couple of years ago, and he really was a green fighter, Mike, and now in the last couple of fights that we have seen him fight, he's a little calmer. He seems to have his knees under control. He realizes that they are a devastating weapon, and I think he's learning to control them better.
A long history of fighting in Eastern Europe for Alexey Ignashov. He's got a lot of fights under his belt, mostly Muay Thai and kickboxing. But as I said, he's got to get a win in K1 fighting, and tonight's the night he's looking to do it. He was in Japan earlier this year, back in July in Fukuoka. He had a first-round knockout over Jan Norcik. He wants to show the Japanese audience here that that wasn't a fluke.
Again, 3 rounds, 3 minutes each. Bernardo in the white trunks. Ignashov with the naturally red trunks for the Red Scorpion. Bernardo, a familiar figure in K1 action. And I don't really believe he'll feel his career is complete without a win at the Tokyo Dome.
Though his frame appears slight, Ignashov actually is sporting a 5-pound weight advantage over Bernardo.
Wow. Just a taste of what's to come. That snapping right foot to the left thigh of Bernardo.
Ignashov can hit hard. His 243 pounds goes behind every kick, every punch. Bernardo at 238, well muscled, more of a puncher than kicker.
Definitely have read the book on each other.
They seem to know a little bit about each other. Looks like Ignashov a little tentative up top with his hands. He knows that Bernardo's a pretty good boxer. Good leg kick by Ignashov. No follow-up, but it looks like he's trying to establish that he's the better kicker.
Bernardo looking for an opening. He's got a tremendous punch. Most of his career success has been with the gloves.
Oh, good left hand by Bernardo, and another good left by Bernardo. Ignashov shook it off, but backed him up. Ignashov obviously looking for the leg kick. You see him, he's got his hands, he's got his head ducked down a little bit, looking between his gloves, looking to see if the legs are open.
Well, he's a smart man, knowing he cannot match the fury of Mike Bernardo, and there you see a hint of it.
Those were some strong punches. Ignashov picked them off on his gloves, but it still moved him side to side.
Bernardo coming on now, trying to weaken the defense of Ignashov.
Oh, what a right hand by Bernardo.
Couple of purebreds, the puncher in Bernardo, the kicker in Ignashov. A great matchup here in Osaka.
Big body punch by Bernardo, followed by a right hand to the head, partially landed. Ignashov is just sticking with his game plan. He hasn't changed a thing. 10 seconds left in this round. Ignashov still looks to be looking for the leg kicks.
Bernardo setting him up for the big roundhouse, mostly blocked by Ignashov. And each fighter displaying his specialty in that first round.
Well, Ignashov landed some good leg kicks. They have a hidden toll that they take. You don't see the effect like you do with a head punch, but it really starts to take the steam out of your legs in the second and third rounds. You see the power of that left roundhouse kick. That's a 238-pound man. He just moved backwards about 2 feet with that kick. But here Bernardo knows how to put all his power. You see the hip turn and the power going in those punches. Even if they hit on the gloves, they move Ignashov side to side.
I don't think we've ever seen a tall fighter so proficient and so strong with the leg kicks, and that's where the bread and butter is coming for Alexey Ignashov so far. I'd give round 1 to Bernardo. Here we go. Round number 2.
I concur with that. I think he got the punches in around Ignashov's gloves enough to get the nod.
Experience plays such a huge part in all these fights. You got to give that to Bernardo as well.
Ignashov still sticking with his game plan. He's going for the roundhouse kicks, bringing them up to the body now. His kicks are fast. He's really pushing off the canvas. I don't think Bernardo's going to be able to block those. If he can bring one up to the head, he's scored quite a few knockouts with head kicks.
Over the years, Ignashov has closed in the gloves a little bit with his defense.
See,
Not as wide open.
No, he's not. He's still looking down low. He's got the gloves up. He's figuring he's gonna go ahead and take the big punches if they come. Take them up high on the head and around back behind the ears where they don't do as much damage. Looks like he has no intention of getting in there and punching with Bernardo.
No reason to. But Bernardo's certainly wary of the attacks that Ignashov is possible.
Well, I'm telling you, those leg kicks of Ignashov, something like that doesn't look like that it's hitting that hard, but it is.
Oh, and now Bernardo tries to back Ignashov into the corner. That's where the fight is going to be won for Mike Bernardo.
Ignishov's got to stay outside in the ring, out in the open space, move side to side, keep landing those kicks. They will have their toll. You see Bernardo maybe a little gingerly stepping on that front leg now. Now he's starting to pick it up. He doesn't want to get hit with the kicks. Oh, nice. Ignashov just went right underneath the front leg of Bernardo and hit the back leg.
Very nice move. Oh, good right hand, and down goes Bernardo with the leg kick.
Great combination by Ignashov. He set up the right hand.
He looks dazed.
Bernardo's out.
And now they've called the fight. Oh my, Alexey Ignashov.
Bernardo could not get off the canvas.
What a shocker.
He set it up. He set up the right hand with the roundhouse kick. And then he landed the right, came back with a roundhouse kick underneath and took him off his feet.
Wow, how ironic is that? A punch sets up the victory for Alexey Ignashov against one of K1's greatest punchers, Mike Bernardo. And Alexey Ignashov has earned his way to Tokyo Dome on December 6th.
What an opportunity for this 25-year-old to be in Tokyo on December 6th. The mecca of K1 fighting coming up in just a couple of months, and he's going to be there.
Well, a quick recovery for Mike Bernardo, who bids his respect to the Belarusian fighter. Here's how it took place.
Well, see, he's been setting this up with the roundhouse kicks the whole fight, and Bernardo got careless. That was a good right hand. That would have stunned anybody, and then coming underneath with the roundhouse kick just took him down. You see now, Bernardo looks back over. He shakes off the right hand, but he's been working on that left leg all fight. He sets up the right hand with the kicks, lands the right, goes underneath with the roundhouse kick. Bernardo just knew it was over. I don't know if he could have gotten up, but he just did the best he could in this fight. It was just as well he stayed down, because I think Ignashov had him at this point. If he hadn't gone down, if he had gotten up here, he would have gone down again.
Well, Bernardo has not been one who's renowned for being able to work his way through a tough punch like that, and that stunning right hand from Ignashov set the table for the kick, took Bernardo off his pins. He was stunned just long enough to get the count out, and Alexey Ignashov now earning more kudos from the fans here at the Osaka Dome.